let me tell you something. A lot of people saw Clark Kent walk into that diner. That wasn't Clark Kent that walked into that diner. That was Derek fucking Hale of the Hale Pack, the true alpha of the Hale Pack that walked into that diner. Just, oh my God. I had flashbacks to Teen Wolf, man. Bullshit. I'm telling you right now. Superboy is on the way. In some Cadmus lab somewhere hidden in the world. Amanda Waller has her hands on Clark's DNA, and she is currently creating her own version of Superman. Superboy John Kent is on the way. I wouldn't be surprised if like this show got like another season if he wasn't actually the focal point of the next season. Because to be quite honest, the Kent farm is getting crowded as hell. Candace done moved in, the boys done moved into the same room together. Lois is dealing with cancer. John Henry's going back and forth. Nat sometimes over there. Superboy John Kent can go ahead and move in. He can go ahead and move in. Just go ahead and get adopted by the Kents. Because when he was like, did you use my blood for any other purpose? She gave him that look like, he's gonna kill me. This man is about to turn into Homelander if I tell him that I gave his blood to Lex Luthor. So let's go ahead and steady my heart rate and lie like my life depended on it, because it probably does. And she made the right decision. She told that man exactly what he wanted to hear so he can get the hell up out of there. I like this episode. A focal point for this show is John Henry Irons. While the show is called Superman and Lois, I feel as though we spend a lot of time with John Henry, getting inside of his head, his relationships with the past Lois, with Nat, things along those lines. But it's interesting to basically see him now I wouldn't even really say move away from the Kents, but explore the history of the John Henry Irons from this earth. Reconnecting with his sister, I thought was like really, really nice, because you have to look at it from her perspective. She buried her brother, and then all of a sudden somebody else shows up with his face. And I like the fact that there's a level of continuity that the people that exist inside this world just don't suddenly forget about the crazy shit that just happened. Because when she sees him, she's like, holy shit, you're from that world with the cube for a son? That's literally what happened last season. So it's great that we got a callback to that the people inside of this world are used to basically the super wild and outlandish things that are happening, and then they apply what they've basically experienced to basically deal with these super crazy and wild situations. I love that entire sequence. Anytime my man suits up and takes off and he's doing the whole steel thing, it is great. I also like the relationship between both him and Bruno Mannheim. I like Bruno as a villain. Like, I like when my villains are a little bit more subdued. Like, I feel as though I usually go in two different directions. Either I want my villain to be Reverse Flash, or I want my villain to be a Lex Luthor type. Bruno Mannheim definitely falls into the Lex Luthor category, and I absolutely fucking love it for him. It's great. It's a perfect villain for this entire show, if they're choosing not to do Lex Luthor, or me bringing in Lex Luthor at a later point in time. Because basically it's like he goes to see his sister, and instantaneously Mannheim's men are there to basically arrest him and drag him back to Bruno so that he can interrogate him face to face. Also, look, your show needs to make a decision. Either give my boy Jonathan powers, or stop having him get his ass beat. I'm sick and tired of it. Somebody come through and save my boy, because it's like, okay, Jordan, you're out there doing your thing. I understand that, but like, you got super hearing. You can't hear when your twin getting his ass beat on the opposite side of the state. Come on. Help my man Jonathan. Like, I don't even need him to give him all his powers. At least give my boy super speed, or like heightened reaction time, something, or super strength, something. Help him out, please. Because if I have to sit down and watch my man get hurt, punched in the face, beat up, kidnapped again, I'm going to be hella upset. But like the intro said, My favorite part of this episode definitely has to do with my boy Clark going full fucking Derek Hale, true alpha, and dealing with Candace's father inside that fucking diner. Because there are so many callbacks when he walks in. It's a callback to Man of Steel, and then it's also a callback to, I believe, Superman 2. I think Superman 2 was the one that had the diner scene. And it's basically taking both of those scenes together and combining it. You have the asshole who attempts to push him like in Man of Steel, and he just does not fucking budge. Let me tell you something. If I get into a fight with someone and I put the full force of my body into pushing this person out of my way and they don't budge an inch, an instantaneous death flag should pop up over my head where it's like, this person is about to sauce me. I don't know how, and I don't know how quick it's gonna come, but when he hits me, I'm going to die. And if I don't die, I'm just gonna lay on the floor and pretend that I'm dead. Because there's the look in his face when he pushes Clark and he just does not move, which is the same look they nailed in Man of Steel when my boy pushed well, that version's Clark, and he did not move. It's like, holy shit, what did I just get myself into? But the creme de la creme, the pièce de resistance is when he slammed him onto the counter and he's holding him down, and you can see him trying to put all of his strength to like get away, and he's just not moving. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And then he lets him go with a warning and reverts back to like the nicest fucking guy on the planet. He's like, I'm really sorry everyone for, you know, disturbing your meal. I really apologize. Candace, I'm sorry that you had to see me do that to your father. And yes, come on over to my house to check on your boyfriend. Love it. This show continues to nail Superman, like perfectly capture and encapsulate the character of Clark Kent and Superman. And it's the reason why I tune in every single fucking week. It is still the best show that the CW and HBO Max has ever put out. I know a lot of people are going to be like, but what about Arrow season 1? What about The Flash season 1? What about Doom Patrol? What about, I dare you to say Titans. I dare you to say Titans. Don't get me wrong. The Flash, fantastic season 1. Great season 2. Good season 3. Everything else after that is either mid or trash. Arrow, great season 1. Great, fantastic, golden, top tier season 2. Perfect in every way, shape, and form. Everything after that until about season 5, mid, trash. Then everything once again after that until the end of the show, mid, okay. Superman and Lois, I consistently like every single season of this show. It has not let me down. And I enjoy the fact that it does not choose to let me down. And I am here for it. And I'm going to be here for it next week. But go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode of Superman and Lois. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.